What's going on, boys? Noguides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we've got a 5-3-2 tactics update post patch for team of the season. This is the flying fullback formation. As you well may know that the fullbacks, they do fly forward, and when they go forward they remained unmarked, so you have basically a 4-man attack, and then you have your centre mids join the attack as well. I'm pretty sure you've seen that. The difference in this system is that we have both the left back and right back on stay back while attacking, and it allows you to manually move the left back and right back forward using the D-pad tactics, but I'll explain that all in a second. But let's go straight into tactics without further ado. I think that's the main reason why you're here. So I'm going to go through all the tactics systematically. I'm also going to explain the reasonings why and why certain things have changed during team of the season. The first one is defensive style. Now this is the thing. You can use pressure on heavy touch, and now it's team of the season time. But do bear in mind that a lot of your opponents are going to have such quick and fast players, and they're going to be able to press you and be able to counter you if you do lose the ball. So you can use pressure on heavy touch, but in my opinion, I'd recommend using balanced. If you want to make an attacking variation, use pressure on heavy touch, but in my opinion, just use balanced. For the defensive width, we've gone with 3. Now why 3? Normally people say around 4 is a good region. Well, the difference is the 5-3-2 naturally is quite a wide formation. What typically happens is most of the time your opponents hold the ball in these areas and create a 2v2 situation on the wings. So the reason why we've got a lower width is that we're going to be a bit more compact towards the central areas, and because the 5-3-2 is naturally quite a wide formation, the easiest points to break through are these 2 points, especially when the fullbacks fly ahead. So with a narrow width, basically they're a bit more compact, a bit more together, and that way you avoid having those gaps in the back. So that's why we've gone with a width of 3. The depth, we left it on 5. Left it on basic. I typically play 6. I know people are saying, oh, 7, use automatic offside trap, but don't forget, you're going to be defending with 3 defenders when you're attacking. Don't forget, when you're attacking, it becomes like a 3-3-4. When you're defending, it's a 5-3-2. So do bear that in mind. So I'd recommend 6 is a good balance between both of them. Then we go over to defensive style, a very important one. You can use long ball during team of the season. Why? It's because generally speaking, team of the season type players, they're very, very good. They've got very good attack positioning. So if you've got players like Neymar, Ronaldo, that's all fine and dandy. But now you're going to have left wing backs or right backs in those flying fullbacks positions, because they've got better attack positioning. They're going to be making better and more enhanced runs going forward. So if you want to, you can use long ball. That's for those that prefer progressive and more of a slow system. If you prefer a fast system, should I say, to kind of go gung-ho. So as soon as you get the ball, you want both your left back and right back to fly forward immediately, then I would recommend leaving on fast build-up play. I still use fast build-up play, so you can leave it on that. For the offensive width, we left it on 5, we left it on balanced. Nothing's really changed here because we do have the 3 centre mids. And then we have the actual players in the box. Now, again, it depends on how you play. I've gone with 7. I think 7 is a good combination, because don't forget, when you're attacking, you're going to have your back 3 over here, and you're going to have your 3 centre mids. Generally speaking, your 3 centre mids are also going to be going inside the box, especially when you get the ball. Let's say, for example, your left back and right backs here, and you see you have your 2 strikers here. You ideally want to get the ball somewhat in that area. So the benefit is that if you have the higher players getting inside the box, when you get the ball with the fullbacks on the wing, it's easy for you to cross the ball, play a sweat, or at least to pass someone coming in late inside the box. The corners and free kicks, as usual, I'd always recommend 1, just simply because you do get counter-attacked a lot of the time. Do bear that in mind. Obviously, one of the weaknesses with this formation is the fact you're getting counter-attacked. Now we're going to go over to the most important thing, which is instructions. Again, it's very important you understand the reasonings why. A lot of things won't make sense in the beginning, but it will make sense after. Let's start straight at the back. So the left back and the right back are both on stay back while attacking. Generally speaking, I play wingers here. And the question you're going to ask me is, well, how do they go forward? Well, it's very simple. All you have to do basically is you press up on the D-pad and you press attacking fullbacks. When you do that, it cancels out this instruction and these guys both go forward. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, this is perfect. Let's say, for example, using the 5-3-2, but you're winning 2-1. You don't want your fullbacks to commit forward, because then you could get countered if you're winning at 80 minutes. So you simply just stop them from running forward by turning the attacking fullbacks off. If, for example, you want them to be on the entire game, you just leave on. So it's kind of like a light switch. You can use it at your own discretion. I just want to say, if you do want to get better at FIFA, I do have a paid advanced in-depth FIFA School Series. This is for all levels of those that want to improve in FIFA. This is different from YouTube videos. It's a progressive learning system where all the videos go completely in depth, and you won't find these videos on my YouTube channel. These go beyond the scope of typical YouTube videos. They're very long, elaborate videos explaining what you need to do and what you need to become a better game, explaining everything. So come join hundreds of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better at FIFA. Link is in the description for more information. patreon.com/Neil guys. Of course, I have all of last year's videos as well, which all apply to this year, and I'll have new videos coming soon for FIFA 21, and it's a complete money back guarantee. So if after 1 month you decide that you didn't get better at FIFA, I'll refund your money back, and that way you won't lose anything. So come join the FIFA School Series. But anyway, back to the video. So that is basically the left back and the right back, conservative interceptions and overlap as well. You can turn conservative off, but I still leave it on, and the most important thing is overlap because you want them to be making the runs on the outside, so do bear that in mind. 3 centre backs, have them all unbalanced. In my opinion, you might see a lot of contrasting opinions on this centre mid. A lot of players have this play on get forward. This is good and fine and dandy for those players that are elite caliber plus. But what I find is a lot of, if you're a gold 1 player, gold 2, gold 3, silver 1, when you get counter-attacked, having that middle person not there is very much, I would say, a disadvantage, especially when you're going forward, because if you lose the ball, there's a hole in your midfield. A lot of the top tier players, they normally use the right centre mid, left centre mid, and cover that space manually. A lot of players don't do that. So in my opinion, leave the central player on cover centre, stay back while attacking, and that's it. Just leave it on that. If you want to, you can also leave him on center edge of the box, but that's completely up to you. But this is a guy that sits back, your defensive player. Then you have your left center mid and right center mid. Now ideally, work rates do mean quite a bit over here, because they don't forget they're on the balanced instruction. If there's no instruction, they'd hear more to the work rates. I'd recommend a high if you can get a high or a high medium. I think a high and a high medium is a good combination, both the left center mid and right center mid. If they don't have a good work rate, so let's say for example the work rate is not that good, you can of course put get forward on, and that just means that the players will manually make the runs going forward themselves as soon as you get the ball. Don't forget you are on fast build up play, so they're going to be making a bit more runs than usual. Depending if you use long ball, or so if you use fast build up play, generally speaking, these guys will fly forward immediately as soon as you get the ball. But if you use more of a long ball approach, these players they'll still go forward, but they won't fly as quick. So if you prefer to build up a little bit more, long ball might be a bit more beneficial over here. But we have get forward. If you want to, you can put get into the box, but don't forget we have the tactics that do that anyway. If you struggle defensively, I would say if you prefer to have 2 center mids, you can have, for example, one of them or 2 of them, should I say, on stay back while attacking. That way you have 2 guys always back, and you have 1 of the guys on get forward. That way you can have the left back and right back going forward, the 2 strikers, and then 1 of the centre mids join the attack. If you're an elite player, or let's say you feel very comfortable with defending, then of course you can have both of these guys on get forward or balanced, and that way you got even more attacking possibilities. But again, the most important thing is stability. Don't change something if you feel, so don't go into a game with more of a defensive approach and then increase it after. People always ask me, why do I have everyone on stay back while attacking? It's not, because don't forget, this formation has to work for everyone. The idea is you use the formation, you figure out your ability, and you think, okay, maybe I can increase the depth by 1, or I can put these players and get forward. So the idea is I provide the foundation, you adapt it to your playstyle, and that is the 3 center mids. Another question I get asked is cover center. It doesn't really matter. You can use cover wing, but most of the danger area is always in the center, not down the wing. And these guys will always go back and forward every single time, so they'll fly back and eventually defend that situation. So don't worry too much about cover wing. I would say leave these guys centrally to cover the center, because they're going to be in the middle anyway when they go forward. And make sure you don't put free roam on. Another mistake that I'm seeing. For the most attacking player, you can put free roam. Most of the time I just find they just go down the wing and do nothing. It's not like what you think free roam would be in real life, so don't expect them to be making these miraculous runs. So definitely just leave that unbalanced. For the 2 strikers, with them both on stay central, stay forward. Stay central is the most important, because if they're not in stay central, sometimes they will veer off. And you will find that if, for example, your left center mid or right center mid joins the attack, sometimes you want your right center mid to go in a strike position. Sometimes Ronaldo might go towards the wing. You don't want that. You want these guys to stay forward up against your opponent's back 4, and you want whichever one of your center mids, or both if you're a good player, to join the attack, and that way you create the numerical advantage going forward. That means when you have the ball when you're attacking, you're going to have 2 options. Your left back and right back are going to go forward. Typically speaking, at this stage of the game, people are going to be playing very narrow like this. So typically speaking, your left back and right back, they're going to be completely unmarked on the wings. Then you're going to have your 2 strikers up against your opponent's 2 centre backs, and then you're going to have your left centre mid and right centre mid join the attack. So when you have the ball with Trent, or let's say you have 2 centre mids here, it's your ability to decide, do you want to pass the ball to the wing areas, or do you want to pass the ball to the striker, thus giving you a lot of options. Of course, when you lose the ball, these guys of course will return back to left back and right back positions. It will take some time. And as I said, you can use hug the sidelines as well. The reason why we've gone with a bit more of a defensive, or not a defensive, but kind of like a default width, is that you can always use hug the sidelines. If you use hug the sidelines, these guys go even wider. So if you prefer them to be completely unmarked, like basically near the corner flag, feel free to use hug the sidelines. Press up on the D-pad and then press right. But that is the tactics and instructions. Again, stamina team of the season around about this time. I normally play wingers in these roles. I don't really play fullbacks. I play wingers. I'd recommend definitely playing wingers in these roles. I'll 100% definitely recommend it, especially during team season time. Stamina shouldn't be an issue. For the back line, I would fully recommend using fullbacks. Do not use any centre back below 85 sprint speed. I'm serious. Even with a shadow, 85 sprint speed is not enough. A team of season guy will just go straight through you, and you're going to regret it after. You think it's good enough, but once you go up the weekend league, you'll understand what I mean by that. And then one defensive midfielder. Normally you can use like one kind of box to box, like a Hullet kind of, or a Rooney if you've done an SBC. And normally I have a striker on a wing on the other side, and then I have 2 marksman strikers up front. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget my Patreon link is down below in the description. And don't forget I also stream on twitch.tv/NilGuides. Link is down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.